Hey guys, welcome to our hangout today. I'm Brent,
Judy.
and we're the ambassadors of Florida. Our special guest today, Sarah Marble. I'm so honored that she's with us today. Sarah is a diamond ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and she just came back from an awesome trip to Maui. And you were childless on this trip.
Yep, no kids.
No kids. So before she had kids that they've taken to Maui. So I've asked her to share with us today tips that each of us can use in our business to help us or encourage us towards Maui and give us some tips. She has a call at the same time on Sunday night. So we're actually recording this early. So Sarah, thank you for giving us time during your week. You've always been a great mentor to me, Julie, and we appreciate your leadership in Plexus and what you're doing. You serve on the advisory board for Plexus now. That's exciting. And you just spoke on Richard Brooks' Hero Call. So I want to first of all ask you about that. How was that? It had to be incredible.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. Anything for you guys. Love you guys. Let me tell you, the Richard Brooke thing, that's kind of crazy when the 4-year career was the very first book that I ever picked up for personal growth and development, and to have the author of the 4-year career actually call me on my cell phone and say, hey, I've heard about you. I'd love to have very humbling experience. I was very honored to be able to do that. And I think if I could say anything about it, it would be that anybody can do this. If I can get a call from Richard Brooke when I was just a nurse who was, trying to figure out a way to stay home with my babies, and then 4 years later I'm able to share my story based on, the 4-year career and what actually has happened in the last 4 years of my journey. It was just a great experience. So thanks for bringing that up.
I love every time everybody calls me, always says, that's just beautiful.
Yep. It really helps to increase belief when you hear story after story after story of regular people who are finding, massive success in network marketing.
I remember we both went to the San Diego event that you spoke at. And Richard Brooks was out there.
Yep.
And I think he was the only man speaker.
Yes, that's correct.
I was listening to one of his little talks, and he was talking about, I don't even know why they asked me. I was the only man speaker out there, and you actually got on the elevator with me. And it was pretty cool. So that's exciting. For those of you who don't know who you need to subscribe to his podcast on iTunes. He does Hero Call every week. MLM Giant. It's been wonderful, and just like Sarah represented Plexus as well, so we appreciate that. So Sarah, let's fast forward to Plexus a little bit. Tell me about your trip to Maui.
It was absolutely amazing. I have to tell you guys that Maui is a magical place. I've been very blessed with the opportunity that this was my 4th year in a row to be able to earn this trip with Plexus. So the first 2 years we brought the kiddos. It was a little bit crazy. Last year was our first year that we were able to go without the kids, and it was wonderful to play tourist and do all the crazy things, the road to Hana and the waterfalls and all of that. This year was a really good year that we could just kind of sit back and relax and reflect and really spend time with a lot of the top leaders that we have in our company. And if nothing else, I came away once again that realization that they truly have the best company with the best leaders, with the best executives, to be able to spend a week just hanging out by the pool or at the beach or whatever the case might be, being able to just share and get to know all of these wonderful people. But we actually had over 250 jewels that were qualified to go. So with guests, we had over 500 people there this year.
Wow. That's awesome. And you guys got Tiffany bracelets?
We did. I don't have it on right now, but last year was the Maui Gym sunglasses, and I guess they decided to step it up a notch. Dawn got a Tiffany money clip that's beautiful, and then the women got the bracelets.
That's awesome. We saw Melissa Gohlers at our meeting on Monday night, and love how it had the little pineapple and the Plexus on one side and Maui's on the other. So Sarah, tell me, how can our team members right now they have 10 months that they could really work their business. And we have a lot of people that have made Maui that have never been in the business that have gotten in about this time or even after that have made the trip. What are some tips that you could give to encourage someone along those lines?
I think that's a great question, and I'm going to share a few things with you guys. The first is, no matter where you are, even if you joined last night, it is absolutely possible and doable for you to be able to earn this trip for the following year. The deadline every year is July 31st to hit Emerald. And we have people who have done it in 10 months, 9 months, 8 months. So I want you to remember to dream big. Worst thing that can happen, you shoot for the moon and fall among the stars, but just know that it is a potentially realistic goal. When my mom and I set our goal to start working the business, when the first time we had the meeting, I had just turned silver, right after that first convention. My mom and I said, we're going to do this, let's make a plan, and we hit Emerald in exactly 9 months from that day that we decided we are going to make a plan and let's do this. So be encouraged that you can do it. Anybody can do it. I want to give you some practical advice, a few things that I wish I had known, because now learning later, I'm like, wow, that would have really increased my learning curve. First thing is, where you are right now, don't reinvent the wheel. We have amazing people who are being so successful, who are sharing what they're doing. We've got trainings, we've got calls, we've got so much access to amazing third-party tools. We've got catalogs and brochures. We've got our YouTube channel. We've got our Wednesday night opportunity calls. If you don't know about any of those things or how to get them, make sure you check with Linda or Rhett and Julie, or who your direct upline is, so that you can plug in and use the resources that we already have that are available. When I joined 4.5 years ago, we didn't have catalogs, we didn't have brochures. I used to type a few things up on a Word document and print it out before I ran out, and I'd handwrite my name and phone number if I saw somebody that I wanted to share plexus with. So the opportunity that you guys have with where we are in our company, with the tools that you can use and not having to reinvent the wheel, I highly encourage you, jump right in now and use what we already have. You don't have to rewrite a manual. You don't have to rewrite a success guide or anything like that. Use what we have. The next I want to share with you guys is keep it simple. Anybody can do this. You don't have to know every single ingredient in every single product and have an amazing before and after picture before you start getting to work. I would say today is the day you can start getting to work. We have people who have gone silver before they even got their welcome pack and before they even drank that first slim. So just knowing whoever brought you in, they brought you into this business because they believe in the company, they believe in the products, they've got a passion for this business, and you can jump in knowing that we already have people who are finding success and sharing testimonials. If you don't have one yet, use someone else's. So don't wait to get started thinking that by waiting it will benefit you to either learn more information or whatever the case might be. You guys, I'm a Diamond Ambassador and I still refer to the website when double checking about products. I have not memorized every single product ingredient. As we increase our product line, first of all, my brain just doesn't have room for all of that. But just know we've got the tools available, so it's important to be able to keep things simple. Getting started right and getting started quickly, I think it's probably what's going to serve you the best. If you keep it simple and don't reinvent the wheel, in the first 48 hours of getting going, now whether you just signed up or if you're going to say today is the day I'm getting restarted and in the next 48 hours I'm going to make my plan, every single person I talk to, I let them know, hey guys, this is a sharing business. You need to make a list. And I get a lot of eye rolls, oh, the dreaded list. Don't make me think of 100 names. And I say, you know what, 100 names is good and 200 is even better. Because the people who are who are successful right now in moving up that leaderboard are the people who are sharing. They're reaching out to their friends, their family, their neighbors, their coworkers. When I was in Maui, I made it an effort to ask as many people as I could, diamonds especially, how did you get into the business? And you would be shocked to hear so many average, well, I was behind them in carpool line every day and wondered what that decal was, or, well, they sat next to me in Bible study, or, well, this was my youth pastor's wife. Just people that we do life together with, making it an intentional opportunity to say, hey, I'd love to share with you something that I'm doing. Do you have a few minutes we could grab a cup of coffee or maybe even chat on the phone so I could see if you're interested in what I'm doing or the products that we offer? And asking one simple question like that, it's not salesy. It's not pushy. Nobody's going to fault you for wanting to share what you're excited about. So I would say don't reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple and then have a plan to be bold and be intentional in reaching out to people. People that are getting going quickly, the 5-3-1 of the daily activity would be sharing with 5 new people every day, and then following up with 3 people every day. And then if you do have a team, checking in with that one team member a day, saying, how are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Maybe a 3-way call or just some support and encouragement. But I actually talked to one person who's hit the leaderboard recently here, and she's from Mobile, Julia. She's like, you know what? Heck, with 5 people a day, I started sharing with 20 people a day. So it truly is a numbers game. If you want to be successful and if you want to go fast and if you want to be in Maui next year, the more the better, and it could be an email, it could be a text, it could be a phone call. Julia actually said, you know what, if I've got their number in my phone, I'm going to pick up the phone and call them because obviously I know them well enough that I have their contact in my phone. And she just simply said, hey, I found this thing called Plexus, wanted to share it with you. Let me know what you think. And it was very short, very sweet, and she had enough people that said, sure, let's do this. They got off and running with her early on and not waiting for that testimony or waiting till you know it all. Let's do really quick. I think duplication is really important. So I could make that goal that, hey, I want to get to Emerald. But guess what? I can't do it by myself. None of us could ever sponsor enough people, 500 personals or whatever you would need eventually to get to Emerald by yourself. So I want you to remember that it's a lot of people working together doing what they can. So if you have something that's simple and duplicatable, as people are joining your team, you're going to be able to have that number grow of everybody working together for the common good of let's all be as successful as we can be. So I really like to do the predictable steps of have everybody make a list and then start sharing how can you reach out and present Plexus to people on your list. Is this going to be a coffee meeting? Are you going to get together and just share a catalog with somebody? Will you invite them to a weekly team meeting, an opportunity meeting, an online Facebook event? What are all of the different ways that we can share Plexus? So we're going to make a list and then we're going to start reaching out to people and contacting them on our list and then presenting Plexus to them. And then the true key is follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up. Celeste Gwynn is our top earner in Plexus, and she has made it very clear that some of the people that are on her team, she followed up with 7 times, 10 times, 15 times, and eventually they just said, okay, if you're this motivated and you're this excited to continuously share this with me, I guess I'll take a look. I don't have the statistics, but maybe we can post this when you guys post the call, but that little graphic that talks about the percentage of people that you have to work through.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was telling Julie about that yesterday and I couldn't find it, but it was amazing how many people give up, but then the people that are consistent all the way through is a small percentage.
Yes. I actually think I might have it right here. And I have to tell you, that's probably, if I had to be honest and evaluate what am I not good at, that's probably one of the things, because how many of us don't like to hear no? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Oh, I didn't, and whatever the case might be, we let that one no stop us. But you know what? if you're a crazy busy mom like me with 3 kids or 5 kids or however many kids, or if, here I found it, you know, it might just be truly that I'm interested, but I just haven't gotten back to you, or just haven't responded to that message, or you reached out to me and I saw the message and I thought I replied and I didn't. So continuously, you know, and I wouldn't, you know, don't stalk people. You know, there's definitely a little system of, you know, 3 days and then, you know, a week, and just, you know, and then I have some people that ended up being, I just checked in with them on holidays, and 2 years later, 3 years later, they finally said, okay, tell me about this plexus stuff. It was just continuously engaging, and continuing the relationship, even if they said no thank you. So 48% of salespeople never ever follow up with a prospect. Wow. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 80% of all sales are made between the 5th and the 12th follow-up contact.
Wow.
Wow. So if that doesn't tell you that follow-up is important, and when you're sitting down to do your income producing activity, what's going to grow your business, it should be, who did I give a 3-day trial to that I haven't checked in with yet? Who are my new preferred customers that I need to see how they're doing? Following up not just with prospects, but also with customers, because those happy customers very well could eventually become happy ambassadors on your team. So building that relationship and investing in follow-up, I think, is very, very important. And then the last...
When you were talking about duplication, a lot of people working together, I saw the mastermind quote that I saved this week that they posted from John Rockefeller. I'd rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. So that is why it is so important that we reach out, because many people help that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And the last thing would just be to make sure that you're getting people started right. So if you've already gone through all of the time and effort to make your list, to contact people, to present Plexus, and to follow up, when they finally say, let's do this, getting them started as either a customer or an ambassador with the tools that they need, information that they need, getting them started on their journey, then, you know, is a great thing. And early on, I have to tell you, I signed people up and just basically said, okay, go drink your drink. And I didn't know how to train people. I didn't know that we should give them steps, you know, but that cycle can keep going. If your new people are then saying, okay, go make your list, it's something that can naturally trickle down. Now, we mentioned before we started recording, Lyndon was talking about how her Facebook events are going very, very well. That is something that's very duplicatable. And if you guys aren't plugging in to Brent and Julie and Lyndon with their Facebook posts, I encourage you to do that, because how awesome for you to invite prospects to a Facebook event where they can get all of the information that they need about Plexus, and then be able to just have the opportunity to follow up and say, what did you think about, you know, the information that we shared? Within my team, on any given night of every single week, I have Facebook events going on without me. So to know that that is something that you can use and plug into and teach and train your team, it's a few simple steps of some product information, some graphics, to be able to share that with a, you know, a live event. I think that's a really great thing, and something that's very simple to be able to say anybody can do that, and it can continue on down as you grow.
That's great.
Yes. Let me share with you one of the last things, and I could go on and on and on. It took me too long to figure out that personal growth and development is essential. You know, and even if you boil it down to the simple fact that there are people who have done network marketing for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and have been successful in it. So if I can read something that says this is how they did it, and here's, you know, it's one of those not reinventing the wheel. I'm going to learn from whoever I can. You know, books like The 4-Year Career and Flip Flop CEO are very good in helping to increase your belief in why is network marketing so amazing. And then if you go on to, there's a few skills that you can actually learn and practice and get good at. So if you've kind of stalled out in your business, it might just be that you don't have that knowledge yet of, hey, this is how is a great way to share your story, learning how to share your story, whatever the case might be. There's some tips and training that can get us a few steps further without trying to just figure it out on our own. One of my top books for that would be Sarah Robbins, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. And then one of the newer people that I absolutely love and recommend to my team is Presley Swaggerty. His book Millionaire by Halftime actually has homework at the end of each chapter. So if you're one of those personalities that you need that action plan, or you need that to-do list to check things off to say, this is what I need to do to grow my business, I would highly recommend Millionaire by Halftime. But when it boils down to it, you guys need to, one, know your why. Why am I going to get up every day and share Plexus? And that why will motivate you. And if it's not big enough, then you're going to say, you know what? I don't need to do Plexus today, and be able to put it on that back burner. So what is it truly that's going to motivate you? Is it that you want to help people? Is it that you need to get healthy? Is it that you need $500 a month so you can buy groceries for your family? You need to identify that why. And then start setting goals, realistic goals for, yes, if I want to hit Emerald by July 31st of 2016, then you know what? We've got 1 week left in September. I need to go silver this week, which means I need to start reaching out to people and sharing and find my first 3 ambassadors. Once you find your first 3 people that are going to run with you, it gets really fun. It gets really exciting when you've got a team that you can start moving forward together. So setting those baby step goals, I think, are really, really important for, yes, this is the big picture long term, but let's break it down to today. I'm going to call 10 people, so that this week I can go silver, so that next month I'll be pushing for gold, so that you can break those down, the elephant, break it down into bite-sized pieces, and congratulate yourself and celebrate those successes. If on your first day you call 10 people and you don't get one yes, you still need to be excited and proud that you reached out to 10 people, because it gets easier. And the fact that you can celebrate those small wins will help you to move forward. But I would challenge you guys, set those goals and then share it with your upline. Tell Lyndalyn, tell Brett, and tell Julie, because then you'll have some accountability. Because it's really easy to make those big goals in our brain, but if we don't tell anybody, then if we don't make them, it won't really matter, right? So find that accountability partner that can help challenge you and say, you know what, this is what I'm hoping to accomplish by the end of the month. Will you hold me to this? And get a little bit of that accountability going. And then just keep it fun. You know what? I love doing this. I probably work more than I could or should because I love it so much. So find that place of why does it make me happy? Are you so passionate about these products because they've given you a health testimonial that you want to shout from the rooftops? If that's the case, there's somebody else out there who might be struggling with the same health things that you were, who need to hear your story. So let that be a motivator for you to figure out, you know what, this is where I was, and if somebody hadn't shared with me, I wouldn't have started this journey. Let that little perspective shift. Sometimes people are scared to share because they're worried of what other people will think. I want you to change that to who can I share with, because who might need to hear what I have to offer. And I think that little shift in perspective will be a light bulb moment for a lot of you in being able to say, I need to share my story because somebody today needs to hear it. So I could go on and on. If you want to ask me any questions, if you think I left anything out, that's probably the basics of what I would say to get you going.
I was going to ask you about your personal growth, but you just threw that right in there.
You know, that's like top of the list.
I know for you that is, because you're always talking about personal growth. And tell me what it's like being around, I know you're friends with Art Jonak. Mm-hmm. And some of these guys that you've made friendships with that are not in Plexus but are in like-minded businesses and network marketing, and they have a real love to help everybody in network marketing. What is it like to cultivate these relationships?
I think it's really amazing to think of how many people have poured into me when it didn't benefit them at all. People like Art Jonak and Sarah Robbins and Orrin Woodward to give me the time and coaching, really, to pull through some hard times in my business, or to give me a little bit of direction and wisdom. It's taught me worlds about servant leadership. And the fact that just because it doesn't benefit my business directly doesn't mean that it's not a good thing. The people who have invested in me, it shows me that network marketing is a unique place to be with an amazing group of people. You have positive mindsets. The entrepreneurial spirit in general is something that's unique. And for a group to be able to come together, especially like he does for the Mastermind convention, to know that, yes, these are 40 top leaders from different companies that can all share best practices and stories to motivate and encourage and inspire. I think it's just an amazing and beautiful thing to be able to have met some people like this and be able to know that they're several steps ahead of me in their journey, and that they're willing to reach behind and help, and to just serve and to lead. And it's also a great thing to know that you never know who your next friend or relationship could be. To be able to learn how to talk to people and share and network. I never would have had the opportunity to have such great relationships with some of these top leaders who have coached me and mentored me, just in learning how to talk to people and ask questions and not be scared to reach out.
Right. Why should everyone be on Periscope?
You know what? Periscope, I had to turn my notifications off, but I will tell you, it's an amazing opportunity to peek in to get some free training, tips, insight. It can be a time sucker if you're just watching, reality TV for anybody and everybody that shares. But I do think that Periscope is a great way, one, to get your story heard. If you get good at actually scoping and sharing, it could expand your network. For me, it's given me a great opportunity to share, in the 15 minutes that I'm on a segment for Periscope, to be able to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people tune in. It's done a great thing for me to be able to, my inbox is a lot emptier because people feel like they're getting a little bit of interaction with me on Periscope, so they don't have to message me because I'm already answering their questions on Periscope. So I do think it's a brilliant platform for live stream, and then to be able to give people a peek into your life. I did several Periscopes from Maui, and my team went nuts because they could see what I was seeing, and to be able to give that glimpse into what Plexus is bringing, to our lives, to enrich our lives. It can be motivating and encouraging and inspiring to be able to share that with people.
That's cool. I watched you from here. I knew what y'all were doing. I was watching the Periscopes, and the sunsets. We have gorgeous sunsets here in Pensacola.
Yeah.
But there's something about that Maui sunset. Being in the lobby of the Fairmont there and looking out through when the sun's going down, it's just amazing.
It is.
Just amazing. Well, Sarah, we appreciate your time, and we love you and your leadership for Plexus, and we probably don't say it enough, but you've been such a blessing to us and an encouragement to us. And I'll just get a message occasionally, just say, hey, I was thinking about you, how are you doing? That really means a lot to us, and in our life and our busy schedules and the things that we're going through. So we appreciate that. Lindalyn, thank you for your time today. And I know that you'll want to chat for just a second after we're finished, but we want to say thank you again, Sarah, for your time. Ken, if you don't mind, we're going to pray and ask God to bless our businesses. Father, thank you for Sarah and for John, and for how you've blessed their business. God, I pray that you would just continue to pour your blessings upon them. Lord, thank you for Sarah's willingness to share, Lord, not only with our team, but a multitude of other teams. And Lord, the time that she puts into her videos and her Periscopes, and Lord, the calls that she's done with Richard Brooks and speaking at Mastermind, and Lord, the women's events. And Lord, I just thank you for her willingness to help others out in this business. So Father, I pray that you continue to bless her. Lord, I pray that you'd help us to take these things that she talked about, or this page full of notes that I have here, and Lord, help us to encourage our team to put these things into play. And Lord, I pray that we would see many of our team members be able to make it to Maui next year. Again, just give us a great week ahead of us. In Jesus' name, amen. Guys, thank you so much for being on our Hangout today. And it's beautiful here in Pensacola, and looking forward to a great week. Hey, I've got my brother coming in, so continue to pray for Dwayne.
Yeah.
Dwayne comes in tomorrow, and he's going to be with us for 2 weeks. So we're excited about that. And I think Julie has more time with him than I will, but so pray for Julie. But we're really excited. The kids are excited that he's going to be here. It's going to give him a little different environment to be in right now. It's going to give my mom a break. So if you think about Dwayne, continue to pray for him. Pray for his eyesight. Hey, you know, the doctors haven't given much hope, but we know the one that can give him complete healing if he so desires, and that's Jesus Christ. So thank you guys for being on with us tonight. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.